Ret Readers, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am going to be talking about all the books that I'm going to potentially read in May. These might not be all the ones I'm going to get to, but I do got a large stack. So if you're new to the way that I am doing things this year, and have been since like November, I have been going through my books and reading them in ABC order, and last year I started off with my numbers in A through C, and then this year I decided to continue on that. So and this isn't necessarily like all my H's or anything. I have acquired a couple more books, and by a couple I mean a lot. So this is just what I'm gonna read this year. So anyways, without further ado, let's begin. For the month of May, I am reading my H's, and so I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I want to get to, not including my book of the month book, which I'm pre-filming this, so I haven't yet picked out the May book of the months, but for April's, I did pick out Passion Project by London Sperry. So I love anything to do with romance, and I love anything to do with like historical fiction, as well as I don't know, just like historical fiction and stuff. So that's kind of my reading taste. So let's begin. So this one I want to get into The Homelanders by Andrew Klavan. This one I read like I think when I was 12 or so this was like 13, 14 years ago, and I loved this series. This is a bind up of like this series. I think it comes with 3 books. Yeah, the last thing I remembered, The Long Way Home, The Truth of the Matter, and The Final Hour. So it's 4 books in this bind up. So anyways, I read this like years ago, and then I loved it so much, but I couldn't remember the name of it. I just remembered this image, like the guy running away from like an explosion. And so 9 years after I've read it, so yeah, 9 years, but I have read this 14 years ago. 9 years ago, or 9 years after I've read this, like I had this image in my mind. I couldn't remember what it was called, and I was like, spy books, like what are some YA spy books, and like trying to remember what it was called, and finally found it. So I bought this and actually thrifted this, so yeah, pretty cool. But anyways, I will read the back synopsis. Charlie West just woke up in someone else's something. He went to bed on an ordinary high school student. He woke up strapped in a shack, covered in blood and bruises. He hurts all over, and a strange voice outside the door just ordered his death. The last thing he can remember, he was working on homework, practicing karate, daydreaming of becoming an Air Force pilot, writing a pretty girl's number on his hand. Now the police want to arrest him for the death of his best friend, and a team of ruthless killers is rapidly closing in for more drastic measures. He's desperate to survive and to discover what happened. The truth of the matter is more incredible and more deadly than he ever imagined. The entire 4-novel adventure now in one single volume. So this sounds really good, and I remember it being really good. I hope that it stays really good, because if it isn't very good, I'm gonna be upset, because I've waited like 14 years to read this again. So the next book that I want to read this summer, May, this isn't a very summery novel. It's Hocus Pocus, the all-new sequel. Very witchy. I would preferably want to read this in October, but alas, I'm going through my H's, so I will read this in May instead. Hopefully it doesn't give me too much like longing for the fall time, because fall is my favorite season. But like right now I'm super excited for summer and I really want to read summer books. So yeah, but I do really want to read this too. So the synopsis, oh, this is by, who is it by? Why is it not putting the name? Also someone put little spooky stickers in here. But anyways, what is written by A.W. Jantha. It's based on the screenplay, and I think this is like the Hocus Pocus sequel in book form. We'll see. But anyways, let me just, I haven't seen Hocus Pocus 2, so yeah. Okay, synopsis. Shortly after moving from California to Salem, Massachusetts, Max Dennison finds himself in hot water when he accidentally releases a coven of witches. The Sanderson sisters from the afterlife, Max's sister and his new friends, human and otherwise, must find a way to stop the witches from carrying out their evil plan and remaining on Earth to torment Salem for all eternity. 25 years later, Max and Allison's 17-year-old daughter, Poppy, finds herself face to face with the Sanderson sisters in all their sinister glory. When Halloween celebrations don't quite go as planned, it's a race against time as Poppy and her friends fight to save her family and all of Salem from the witch's latest vile scheme. Interesting. So, I guess this is like, not retelling, but reimagining? Hopefully it's good. I feel like it's interesting that it's like the Hocus Pocus, like the first part in book form, and then the second part is like the continuation of the story. We'll see about that. But anyways, the next book I want to read is Horns by Joe Hill. Again, something I kinda want to read. I've seen the movie, and I don't know, like I feel like this is something I'd want to read in like kind of closer to the autumn time, but it's fine. Anyways, let me read the synopsis to you. Marion Williams is dead, slaughtered under inexplicable circumstances, leaving her beloved boyfriend, Ignatius Parrish, as the only suspect. On the first anniversary of Marion's murder, Ig spends the night drunk and doing awful things. When he wakes the next morning, he has a thunderous hangover, in horns growing from his temples. Ig possesses a terrible new power to go with his terrible new look, a macabre gift he intends to use to find the monster who killed his one true love. Being good and praying for the best got him nowhere. Now it's time for revenge. Sounds interesting. I don't really remember much of the movie. I just know it has Daniel Radcliffe and he has horns, so it'd be interesting to read this again. So I am, or not again, but like be re-immersed in the story. So yeah, anyways. The next book that is on my TBR is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. People say McIntyre, but there's no MAC. It's McIntyre. It might be McIntyre, but don't quote me on that. But anyways, this one is like a dark romance involving Peter Pan, Captain Hook, those characters. So I'm very excited to read this. Let me read the back to you. James has always had one agenda: destroy his enemy, Peter Michaels. When Peter's 25-year-old daughter Wendy shows up in James' bar, he sees his way in, seduce the girl and use her for his revenge. It's the perfect plan until things in James' organization begins to crumble. Suddenly he has to find the traitor in his midst, and his plan for revenge gets murkier as James starts to see Wendy as more than just a pawn in his game. Wendy has been cloistered away most of her life by her cold, wealthy father, but a spontaneous night out with friends turns into an intense and addictive love affair with the dark and brooding James. As much as she knows James is dangerous, Wendy can't seem to shake her desire for him, but as their relationship grows more heated and she learns more about the world he moves in, she finds herself unsure if she's falling for the man known as James or the monster known as Hook. Interesting. I'm heard good things about this, so I am excited to read it. Not much into like the darker side of dark romance, but like this one has been interesting. I wanted to read it for a while, so the next book that I want to read is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover, I'm iffy about. Usually I don't like some of her stuff. Like I've read It Ends With Us, and I liked it. It was okay. I think I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Ugly Love, which I rated 3. And, you know, Colleen Hoover, like she's popular there's a lot of backlash with her though. And when I went to used bookstore, I saw that there was a lot of Colleen Hoover books at the time, so I decided to pick these up. I think in 2023. So yeah. Anyways, so I got some Colleen Hoover to get through. Hopefully this is good. I've heard good things about Heartbones, so we shall see. Anyways, synopsis. Vega comes from a life of poverty and neglect. Samson from a family of wealth. When the two find themselves spending the summer as neighbors, they soon realize money is one of the few things they don't have in common. Their bond is too intense to ignore it, but with only the summer separating them from the start of their new lives on opposite ends of the country, Vega and Samson decide to stay in the shallow end of a summer fling. What they don't realize is that a rip current is coming and is about to drive both their hearts out to sea. Sounds interesting. I love the summer vibes, so I'm hoping it's good. Last book that I want to read is Hurricane Summer by Asha Bromfield. This cover, can we just talk about it for a second? It's so beautiful. Literally, like, I don't know what it is. I love it. It's so beautiful. It's also something that drew me in. I thrifted this and I was like, ooh, this sounds good. But anyways, this one, let me read the synopsis. First of all, I gotta show you the cover. It's so beautiful. Anyways, synopsis. Oh wait, what the heck? Like, this one thrifted, but look, someone ripped off the inside cover. I'm just so flabbergasted. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let me read to you. I think this is an ex-library copy, actually. Anyways, okay. Getting distracted by how beautiful this book is. Anyways, hopefully it's like beautiful inside too, as much as outside. But let me read the synopsis to you. Tilla has spent her entire life trying to make her father love her, but every 6 months he leaves her family and returns to his true home, the island of Jamaica. When Tilla's mother tells her she'll be spending the summer on the island, Tilla dreads the idea of seeing her father again, but longs to discover what life in Jamaica has always held for him. In an unexpected turn of events, Tilla is forced to face the storm that unravels in her own life as she learns about the dark secrets that lie beyond the veil of paradise, all in the midst of an impending hurricane. Hurricane Summer will take you on a powerful coming-of-age journey that explores young love, the father-daughter dynamic, colorism, classism, and inherent dangers of becoming a woman. This sounds so good. I also love, like, hard-hitting contemporaries, too. So I can see why I picked this up, too. Not even for, like, the beautiful, beautiful cover. I don't know why. I just love the colors and everything in this, but I'm excited to read this a lot, so we shall see. Anyways, that's all the books that I want to get through in May. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of the books that I mentioned that I want to read, what recommendations that you have, just for books in general. I'll probably get around to reading those once my entire TBR is finished. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts and opinions are. Also, if you're looking for my book of the month pick once I upload this, it will be in the pinned comment down below, just if you're curious and if you have book of the month as well. But anyways, without further ado, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.